All right, yo. You may be asking yourself, what is this? What are we going to be watching today? So the other day on stream, I went through the Mists of Pandaria Dungeons. I never played them whenever they were current, and we're kind of ranking the dungeon, not ranking them, but like assigning them a grade somewhere around like a 5 and above is going to be a dungeon that I'm okay with, like being added to the Mythic Plus pool. Anything lower than a 5, I'm not super thrilled with without major changes. That's kind of what this is. This is going to be like a really long, like multi-hour VOD. I cut out some of the times where I run ad breaks and I'm like AFK and stuff like that. But realistically, this is going to be a lot of unedited footage. In general, though, the things that I'm looking for in dungeons are replayability, just as a whole. A good balance of like trash that has mechanics while at the same time fun trash to kind of deal with. In addition to that, generally bosses don't make the dungeon, but they can certainly break the dungeon. Absence of RP, any extended RP situations I'm really down on just as a whole. But overall, I think that just like really good trash and really good ability to have like skill expression and tactic expression via the routing in the dungeon, those are the things that I'm looking forward to the most heavily. In addition to that, how long is the dungeon? What is the length going to be like? What is the replayability? Are there any massive drawbacks? Because there are like a couple of things that if they are present, they can turn the dungeon from decent to bad really quickly. It just kind of depends. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's a really long one. Like, you can break it up in multiple parts. There's a lot. I basically go through all the Mists of Pandaria dungeons and even like Skullomance, Scarlet Monster, and Scarlet Halls at the very end as well. So hope you guys enjoy, and we will see you later. Goodbye. As I was saying while I was muted, what we're going to do today is we're going to go look at Mists of Pandaria Dungeons. I've never played Mists. We're going to go look at them and be like, oh, how is this going to work for Mythic Plus? And we'll probably end up watching some videos as well of like some challenge modes. I know challenge modes aren't the most easily like directable, but at the same time, I think it will give us like a good idea of like maybe some potential routes and stuff like that. Obviously, there's going to be like count and stuff like that. But with Blizzard wanting to put more and more legacy dungeons in the dungeon pool, I think it would be interesting to see like which dungeons are good and which dungeons would be potentially bad for Mythic Plus. Because I know that at least whenever I started playing in Warlords, there were some dungeons that would have just been god fucking awful. So if they added those to like the dungeon pool, for example, Skyreach, terrible. Would have been just a terrible dungeon if they added that to Mythic Plus. There's a lot of fucking knockbacks and there's like a ton of RP and random garbage on there. Where do we want to start? Does anybody have a preference for which dungeon we start at for Mists? These are dungeons, again, I'll restate this. If I've played them, I played them very limitedly in Time Walking, not in any extended level, and I don't know anything really about them. You want to start Temple of the Jade Serpent? I guess I'm here. We could go to Temple. Yeah. Yeah, we'll fly to Temple of the Jade Serpent. You can... I think I hate the freaking insects. The temple will be great. But the question isn't like... the question isn't like, is it a good dungeon legacy-wise? It's like, is it a good dungeon to be integrated into Mythic Plus? Because there's a lot of things that like make Mythic Plus dungeons good. I think like a pretty easy to learn path. How long the dungeon is also like a big part of it. Is there RP in a dungeon? If there's anything with RP, I want that to stay the fuck away from me. Or at least, like, there are some dungeons, like Tazavesh, it has RP, but they were able to cut down a lot of the RP, converting it from M0 to Mythic Plus. So, like, there are definitely ways that the developers can cut down some of the RP, but it's a question of, like, what is it? And, like, how bad is it? Yeah. Just gameplay, I think. Loot can be added, or loot can be fixed. I think that just gameplay is what I'm looking at right now. Do you have to kill all the mobs in the instance? Yeah. Is it King's Rest? Okay. Temple of the Jade Serpent. What was it? Okay. So obviously it's not going to be super indicative. I guess we'll watch it on challenge mode. Well, do we want to watch the CM first, or do we want to just like fucking run through it? These are interesting. Okay, so I've done this in time walking before. The two last bosses are cool, like Theater of Pain. Interesting. Okay. I'm kind of down with this kind of trash. Yeah, you can choose where you start. Yeah, so immediately off the rip. I know during time walking, people always run left first, but I'm not 100% sure why. So something that I noticed immediately is there's a lot of these droplets and these living water mobs, and they don't really do anything, and I think that this is actually kind of nice. So you can run off the rip to the left and pull all of the trash into this room. Okay, so this boss had RP, but it wasn't too bad. It looked like it took a second to activate, but it wasn't like a long time to activate. Okay, so there's living droplets that spawn out of the water. Interesting. I like the, okay, so just immediate impressions. I actually think that this is kind of cool. Immune to all attacks and spells. Knock effects nearby targets. Okay. So he's doing something with the water here. What is he doing? Do you have to kill the water and the droplets on top of the black stuff? Is that what's going on here? He spawns 4 water elementals, and then after that I can kill him. Okay. So he takes time to spawn 4 water ellies, and then after that you can kill him. Okay, this makes sense. So he's actually not doing any shit right now. That's interesting. Standing in the water damages you. Oh, okay. Actually, so something that's... Yeah, the shard video? Yeah, the shards look pretty good. And then he's stationary in the middle of the room here, and you just have to dodge around. Okay, I actually really like this. I think that this boss is pretty well designed. One of the big upsides on this boss from just initial impressions is the fact that you could potentially just pull trash into this boss room. Depends on how hard those water elementals are and how hard the droplets are, but it seems like they didn't have too many mechanics, so there's not really much stopping you from grabbing all of the water ellies, pulling them into the boss, immediately starting the boss combat, and killing like 3 water ellies, all the droplets, and then the boss water ellie together, and just kind of slamming like that. That seems kind of cool. I would suspect that those water ellies are pretty beefy. Yeah, that does check out. Okay. So that wing is kind of cool. I think the downside... So... There's something to be said about having to backtrack as much as you are doing here. It's nice that you can go like multiple paths off the start, but having to completely backtrack without any teleports or anything is really awkward. Yeah. I don't know. Is this trash skippable? Okay. I see. I don't like this area. Just immediate impressions, I don't like this area very much. It's a lot of fucking trash in a very small area. You get a movement speed from the boss? Oh yeah, you do. What the fuck? Wait, what is this? Never mind, that's not a movement speed buff. It's not skippable, and this is a lot of fucking trash in a really tight area. I think that I don't like this. I don't like that none of it's skippable, I think is what I hate about it the most. And so then it's just like, if the trash is like well designed, then it doesn't necessarily matter. But like, I'm not really counting on 10-year-old trash being good, especially like, dude, yeah, sanguine. Somebody said it in chat, like sanguine on this bridge. Like, what the fuck? What about sanguine here? Wait, the dungeon can only be completed if you kill 100% dungeon trash, right? Okay, so that's definitely going to be a downside if that is true. Well, I guess we're going to get to that. Spiteful. Omega lol. Yeah, no. So, if that is true, if you have to kill 100% of the trash, that's definitely going to be a downside of the dungeon. I really liked the trash in the water alley area. Yo, Nix, thank you so much for the resub. I did like the trash in the water alley area. I thought it was kind of cool how like you could definitely pull. I could definitely foresee a pull where you pull all of the trash into the boss. This area I'm not the hottest on. Just looking at like how confined it is and stuff. Also, this RP is really fucking long. Yeah. I'm gonna watch a video of Mopsy runs. I think in the future, I think for the next dungeons, I'm just gonna stop right now, and then I'll pull up a CM run right now. YouTube. Was this Temple of the Jade Serpent? Yeah, that's the name of it. Temple of the Jade Serpent. CM. And I mean, it'll just be a CM, so it'll be like 3 minutes or something. 5 minutes or some shit. World record. Oh my god, I thought it wasn't in 1080p, but it is in 1080p. What the fuck? It's just old. Oh, okay, so the key fob is here, and then you have a... Oh, okay, I actually don't hate that. That boss is random. There are 2 different versions. I fucking hate that. Wait a second. Real? I do not like the sound of that. Okay, I think that this is cool. And this is how I imagined it being done in Mythic Plus as well, is you pull all the trash into the boss, and you kind of blow it up. I don't see those water elementals doing a lot to where you're like super concerned about them killing you. Maybe fake, maybe super fake actually, but they don't really have any mechanics outside of dropping droplets. So like I don't see a reason that you couldn't just tank them on top of the like on top of here and then just like pull the other water alleys into it. Yeah, this is old elemental shaman. That could just be rotated. Yeah, that could be changed. It absolutely could be changed to something that's not just giga awful. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is Vengeance, the mechanic, not the spec. Remaster Monk, broken. Something's never changed. Okay, so let's skip forward a little bit because I think that I actually really like this side of the area. I don't think it's like super well designed or anything, but I don't think it's bad. Tank topping DPS, yeah, as it should be. I don't think it's like insanely well designed or anything, but I don't think it's bad. Wait, where were they standing? Were they in some weird spot where they couldn't get hit by the water? What's going on with their camera? Oh, they actually just tank it. Okay. Weird. Cool. Okay, so now they bounce out of here. I want to get a good idea of like how long this RP really takes. So first off, you're probably in a Mythic Plus dungeon, very unlikely to pull all of this trash, right? This trash, it's probably not happening like this in an M plus, mostly because the tank damage is probably going to be too high. What is that? I don't know what that Songbird Serenade is. What is this thing called? The Songbird Queen. That doesn't look like a realistic pull. And that mob is casting an ability. What does this thing do? Puts an enemy to sleep for up to 6 seconds. Yeah, that's not fucking happening. I mean, that's an interrupt, but like... What are these... It looked like some of these mobs had a shield on them, but I don't know where it's coming from. The Golden Beetle. What is this mob? The Golden Beetle. Wow. Oh, okay. So wait, it actually is too. So it looks like. So the RP starts whenever you walk down here? Is that what it is? Okay. I think that that is more reasonable, but I don't like... The length of this RP was pretty bad. Because, like, how long were they down here before the boss activated? 45 seconds? Yeah, they were down here for 45 seconds before the boss activated. Yeah, so that's something that Blizzard absolutely could just cut the RP. Or decrease it. This seems like pretty reasonable to just, like, decrease the RP. RP starts whenever you kill Urn. Okay, that makes sense, too. It was clearly either a mob, or it was, like, you made it here. And I didn't know which one it was, but regardless, it was like a 45 to 30 to 45 second RP, which is really fucking long. Okay, and so 2 separate bosses. I mean, let's just think about this for a second. Has there ever been a time where Blizzard has, like, made like dungeon bosses that are on a rotation pretty good? CMs were only that one boss? Okay, so if CMs were only that one boss, I'm in. Like, that's fine. Like, if they're going to do that for Mythic Plus 2, if it's just that one boss, then I'm kind of down with that. And so this is actually kind of cool. So instead of having to go back to the beginning, you can actually just run forward, right? And run into this area, as opposed to having to go back to the beginning. If you had to completely backtrack, that would be super cringe. But the fact that there are these extra paths, I think that's kind of cool. Freehold? Did you like the rotating bosses on Freehold? I thought that was awful. Some weeks it was less awful. Okay, it wasn't like the bosses weren't... I don't know. Some weeks were just so hard. Would be nice if you could go to the middle boss anytime and I get blocked off. I feel like that's never going to happen, though. It would be faster to dungeon TP out of the instance and enter from the front. Okay, well, if that's a thing, then I fucking... Huh. Yeah, because, like, this is, like, right here. So if you got the port, you could actually just port out and then just walk back in. That would be funny. I like pulls like this. This is actually cool. Things that I do like. This right here is sick. I'm down for just a massive trash pull for no fucking reason. Things I haven't liked, though, is like all of the trash feels mandatory, but the trash doesn't feel oppressive. Yeah, obviously this is every trash pull in CMs, but this is like Plaguefall Slime. This looks like the Plaguefall Slime pull. This is what I would attribute this to. This pull will end you in Mythic Plus. Is this actually just not doable? Would you have to break this up? I mean, it looks like there's a lot of ground effects, right? Especially like on the first boss. I don't know how you're supposed to do that as a melee. They're running triple ranged in a Brewmaster Monk with statue. You think the debuff's gigafuck? Okay. So if you have to break up that pull, it's kind of cringe, but we'll see. I think that Obviously, this is CMs, but I think that doing it like that is kind of cool. But at the same time, if I went back and watched Grimrail Depot, they're pulling literally all the trash, and that's just like not happening. How long was the boss RP after they killed the trash? For this thing to spawn? Okay, that's fine. Mechanics on the boss. Honestly, boss mechanics have always kind of been fine. Like, I'm not like that. Why is this guy blocked? Yeah, three-hold third boss RP was kind of rough, yeah. Oh, the toy. Anima block. Amber anima block. Because it's... Okay, interesting. And this is the last boss. So you go boss, which... I mean, we've seen a lot of boss this expansion. How long's the RP here? The RP here feels okay, I think. Yeah, so the RP here was only like 15 seconds or so. It's not like great. Okay, so overall upsides, not a ton of trash. I really liked this water wing. I think that like how you would pull the trash in here is really cool. I do think that this Liu Flameheart area is even if you do have to break it up, it's still let's just like look at these mobs real quick. So like if you were gonna break it up, you'd break it up into like either 2 or 3 pulls. I think that this is kind of fun. Three-hold pig minigame was the last instance of skill expression in WoW. Good take, good take. Nobody's changing my mind. But yeah, so I mean, if you're gonna break this up into 2 or 3 pulls, I think this is mostly fine. Obviously, if you can do it all in one, that'd be elite. It depends on like how bad these debuffs are, yeah. I think the downsides of this dungeon are that basically 100% of the trash is required to kill. But there's not a lot of it. But with all of the trash being required to kill, it's kind of awkward sometimes. The downsides of this dungeon as well, the RP on this boss, really, really tough. And then it's a pretty decent amount of running. Okay, so these mobs aren't required. So what, can you invis skip these? They have true sight. How are you gonna skip these? That boss is already active. You run fast before they spawn. And you can skip them. Okay. Okay. So the trash is mostly mandatory, is what I will say with that. There is a way that you can skip some of this trash, but it's not like super super reasonable. There's a lot of unskippable trash. Not a ton of skill expression in regards to routing, but I think overall the dungeon is designed like not that bad. I think it's not that bad. I think it's actually kind of cool. It looked pretty melee punishing, is what I will say. Is it looked, at least on first impression, relatively melee unfriendly. A lot of ground effects, a lot of just shit on the ground. On death affixes, notably like Sanguine in this Stone Step area, this Lore Walker area, looks kind of unplayable. So I think that that's something to think about as well. Because like a lot of the dungeons in today's day and age, they're more melee friendly, but like the dungeons here, they seemed like they were pretty tough. So what does this boss actually do? Does he not do fucking anything? Okay, okay. So there's ads on this boss. Look at this. So they're stacked. There's a debuff that gets dispelled. Yeah, look. And so then after you push the boss, you get Shadow Realmed and you get these Figments of Doubt. It looks like you want to be stacked, so you can just AoE cleave these down. And then once you kill them, then the boss reactivates. Okay. I mean, this seems like... This is a really fucking easy boss. Oh, I got Shadow Realmed. Oh, so it's not interesting. It's not percentage on the boss, it's time-based. And so then what happens whenever you kill this thing? Nothing? I think if they added this to Mythic Plus, it wouldn't be the worst dungeon I've ever seen. I would... You say 7, I think I would give it like a... I think it's better than some of the current dungeons we have. I would say maybe like a... The trash is free, but there's no skill expression in regards to routing. Also, the RP in here was really fucking long. Is it better than Spires of Ascension? I think that this is not a bad dungeon. It's short as fuck, too, which I actually like. Or it's, like, close. It may not be... It may not end up being short because, like... Because depends on how long the bosses take. I think that's pretty good. I think I'd give that one, like, a 5 or 6. Like, if they implemented that in a Mythic Plus, I don't think it would be, like, very well liked. I don't think it would be, like, a fun gen. I don't think it would be a Halls of Atonement. But I think that that one... I'm okay with that dungeon. Okay, where do we want to go next? Any opinions from chat? I will go anywhere. I don't fucking care. Even if I have to travel across the continent. Maybe Stormstout Brewery next? Is that where we want to go? I'm down to go to Stormstout. Scarlet Monastery? Starsout. All right, we'll go Brewery next, and then we'll go Monastery. Scarlet Monastery. Where even is that Scarlet Monastery? Actually, we'll do that one last because that one's not even on. That one's like, where the fuck that zone's called? Tearsfall Glades or whatever. It's near Undercity. Yeah. It's in Tearsfall. Yeah. We'll go that one last, I think, because it's really far. You don't feel like Shadow Monastery would get the Mythic Plus treatment? So I've seen runs of Shadow Monastery before. Like, I've never actually played it. It seemed... I don't know. It seemed... I'm kind of getting the vibe that all of these dungeons, you're going to have to pull every single pack of trash. I think I've done Stormstout Brewery and Time Walking before as well. Yeah, so Scarlet Monster, I think Skullmance is nicer than the two. Maybe. We'll go there. You and Dratna should theorycraft the worst possible dungeons and pick and choose mob/bosses from previous Mythic Plus dungeons. Oh, okay. So we would only be able to do that from like Legion onwards, I think, because those are the ones that we have the most experience with. Actually, I don't even know how much experience Dratna has with Legion, but like, I think that we could come up with something really fucking funny for that. Like, I don't even know what I would start with. The Archway Seers, those were cringe. Those were the most cringe. What about the Halls of Valor mobs that didn't give any fucking count, but were in front of Herja? Those were cool. Is that a fresh haircut? Yeah. I got it like Wednesday. Last Wednesday or something like that. I think if there's like a... So, yes, I do think they would take a pre-mop dungeon. The answer is definitely yes. The question is, would it be good? And the answer to that is I have no fucking clue. What if we just threw in a Mariner from Maw of Souls? Just one fucking Mariner. Okay, so first off, the aesthetic of Stormstout Brewery, I think, is pretty good. Definitely one of the better aesthetics dungeons. How do I get in here? From here? Yeah, okay. All right, let's be smart about this one this time and just watch the CM first. Shadow of Zool is now a boss. Banger. How long is this? 12:30? Is this actually just how long this was? Is it actually just... CMs and MOP are 11:43? Really? Or are these guys kind of slow? This is actually... It's actually a pretty long CM. Relative to some of the other challenge modes you'd see. Okay. I didn't like that. This is slow. Okay. Let's go find like a... I typed world record, so I was looking for like something maybe a little bit faster. Oh. Here's the team doing it in... Wait, that's Scarlet Halls. What the fuck? Here's the 749 or 719 Stormstout. We'll just watch this. I don't like this. So immediately first impressions, I fucking hate this first area. I think this first area is like really bad. You're in a tunnel and you're fighting like 5 monkeys. And so like your best case scenario is you do what these guys did, right? Where you just tag the pack and you let it run to you. Oh, there's more monkeys. Oh my god. Okay. I don't like that. Bandicam? Holy shit. Dude, this was like 2014. Why are they using Bandicam? Hello. So, I really, really, really don't like this first part. If you have to do this one pack at a time, it's going to feel miserable, yeah? Obviously, that's like relative to tuning, but just like looking at it almost worst case scenario, if you have to do that one pack at a time, it's going to be really tough. This part is kind of lit. If you can do... I know this trash doesn't have a lot of mechanics. I know that like the major mechanic of this room is just like the barrels that are being thrown at you, just from general knowledge. If you're able to do a pull half this size, it'll be cool. I like how open this room is too. So for like Sanguine and stuff like that, it makes it easy to like deal with. Wow, Rain of Fire. It's almost like I've been here before. Ellie Shaman was the king though. Your whole UI was numbers? Yeah. Wait, is this the boss? This is the boss. The fuck? So wait, when does the boss spawn? Is the boss also based on RP? Dude, are all of the dungeon bosses RP'd in this? Hold on. No way. Oh, it's 40 monkeys. Okay. So it takes 40 monkeys and it spawns the boss. Oh, bar at the top. Okay, I see. Honestly, I'm kind of down. This is kind of cool. What are the odds that you can big pull this room? Not 40 monkeys worth a big pull. Okay, so you can do 40? Oh, okay. So then immediately Like the odds of okay, so then the odds of you actually doing this 2 packs of 20. So these monkeys count towards the count is what it looked like. The 40. Okay. So I hate this less. Now that I'm really thinking about it, I hate the first couple of pulls less because you're working towards activating the boss. And if you can realistically do the pull kind of like how these guys did it, this will be cool. I don't know about 40 fucking monkeys, but like if you could do 20-20 and bring those guys from downstairs up here, I think that is cool. I like the RP. I like the RP being gated behind killing off 40 of the monkeys. I think that this static RP shit that we have right now, where it's like time-based, I think that time-based RP is giga cringe, and I think that like 40 monkeys would be cool. I think that's actually kind of sick. All right, so now they're the boss. The fuck are they doing with the barrels? I actually don't know how this boss works. I see them hopping on these barrels, though. Are they running over the bananas? Or are they just crashing into the boss? It looks like they're just crashing into the boss. Does it do damage to the boss? Oh, he's getting stacking buff. What does this buff do? Hold on, pull this. Oh, okay, so it makes him take increased damage. Yeah, sure. Alright, no, I'm fucking down. I'm in. So if you get hit by it, you get the debuff. If you crash them into him, he gets the debuff. I'm down with this. This is kind of cool. This is a cool mechanic. The barrels are also used on the big pull to speed it up. I like this. I like this first area of trash. This is sick. Really, 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 really cool. Actually, I think that is well designed. It's that rabbit area. Oh. We're running into the issue of like, what trash do you skip in here again? Are you gonna have if you don't have a Woe Drifter, what are you gonna do? Are you just gonna slam an Invis Potion here? Because none of that trash looked like it was like really skippable. How do you activate this boss? Hold on. Does anyone know how to activate it? It's not 40 monkeys. Let me stealth. Technically, you could stealth a lot of this. Is this infinitely spawning trash? So it's infinitely spawning trash. And the boss spawns here. Okay. And the boss spawns basically once you make it here. Fuck. I mean, we've seen this in Mythic Plus before. So there was the mother in Vault of the Warden. She infinitely spawned imps. But so these little shitters, I don't even know what these mobs are. Hop hop somethings. Like, are these things supposed to give 0 count? Not the hoppers, the small shitters. Like, are these things gonna give you 0 count? Are they gonna be 1 apiece? Are they gonna be infinitely spawning? Like, what? I think that this is like this would be a big question mark for me. Is like, balancing something like this is tough. Likely to give 0, but mobs that give 0 count suck. So then you're gonna be asking people to invis potion there, because there's no other way you're gonna be able to skip all that, right? So you're likely gonna slam an invis pot into a shroud, ideally, and just skip basically as much of those small mobs as you can. Okay. I don't like forced invis potions in dungeons. They'll make them not infinite. They can. They absolutely can make them not infinite. Is that details on the top left? No, details didn't come around until Legion. Omen with the paper background. Why does he have a threat meter? Rogue required? Yeah, that does check off one of those Mythic Plus boxes. What if you just pull up in the middle of combat? Oh, he just hovered over something. Well, this is Omen. The threat meter is Omen. This is probably recounter scatter or some shit. So, yeah, I don't know. I think that that's cool. But it's a goblin glidering. That is fucking lit. I think that that part is cool, but I think that that's definitely gonna be like a rogue invis pot required moment. This dungeon definitely has the problem of being purely linear with 0 trash count expression, and I think that that's. I like the monkey area. I think if the whole dungeon's like that, I'm gonna like it a lot less. This is a lot of fucking running. What are we doing? Okay, so they can skip some trash. Look at this. They skip 3 people. Let me kill the boss. God, I wish I had a goblin glider. Let's have true sight. Is that door open? You would pull that. He's too close. Technically, there's a world where you could probably skip that guy. So then they just walk around these guys. So I guess there is some trash that you can skip in this dungeon. Dungeon's trash light. The last dungeon we were at, Temple of the Jade Serpent, was really trash light. You run into the issue of like all the trash being mandatory. They talked about Dragonfly bringing back old dungeons, and they referenced Mogushan Terrace or some shit. No, what did they reference? What was the dungeon that they said by name? I don't remember anymore. It was one of the mop dungeons though. Shadowpin Monastery is what it was. So these are the bosses. These are just the bosses, right? This isn't trash on top of it. Yeah, obviously the dungeons would be adapted if they brought back. Okay, so these elementals are tanked on top of the boss. We know these LEs are skippable. You could skip these with a rogue again. Okay, so this is just a fucking have to have a rogue. Unless... What's the RP by? Is the RP by walking in the room, or is the RP by killing those elementals? Season 4 have a rogue. No, season 10.0 have a rogue. Yeah. You don't need a rogue if you need them for count? Yeah. Depends on how efficient they are too, yeah. And so... Okay. These mechanics are fine, I think. Should be 3 ways to spawn the boss. Okay. How is the RP? And 10 seconds. Like 10 seconds between. Okay, so I'm okay with this. I think Temple of the Jade Serpent's not bad. I think I gave it like a 6. Like a 6 out of 10. Oh. The ad spawn, tag them, stand behind a pillar, let them stack up. Interesting. Or you could stand by this pillar probably even. Yeah. Interesting. Then you get the boss. I don't mind this boss. Or I don't mind how this was set up. I don't know anything about the boss mechanics, so let me look at this. How did they do this here? Okay, so they fight the double dudes and they don't really give a shit, and then they move to this pillar. Yeah, that's the end strat, yeah. Makes sense, that's also the time walking strat. Ooh. So I really like the beginning of this dungeon. I thought the 40 monkey RP thing was really cool. I think that boss is pretty well designed. The things that I don't like about the dungeon is a lot of fucking running. Like, a lot of fucking running. Additionally to that, very linear. Not a lot of room for trash count expression. I think that that's something that we saw in Temple of the Jade Serpent too, is that like all the trash did feel... Temple of the Jade Serpent had like almost no trash in it. This dungeon has a decent bit more trash in it, but it's all still required. And if the count isn't at like 100, like if you don't have to pull everything for 100% enemy forces, then Rogue is basically mandatory. Because there are some mobs that you can skip. Obviously, it can be retrofitted. But I don't think that there's like an easy retrofit to a lot of this shit. They would have to retrofit like those rabbits, and like probably don't make them give count. In 10.0, whenever borrowed power's gone, it'll be a lot lower. Normally, it's not that high. The downside of the Temple of Jade Serpent was that it looked pretty melee unfriendly. Like a lot of the mechanics look really tough for melee. So this boss spawns ads. So it's a stationary boss that spawns ads in the corner. I mean, that didn't do a lot of damage. I didn't do any damage, actually. That's part for the course, Blizzard hates melee? Yeah, let's check out. What? 20 plus is mad? Yeah, that's in raid, by the way. Okay. This boss seems kind of obnoxious, but it's fine. They jumped it, didn't get hit by it. How do you jump it? Is there an extra action button or something that I'm missing on this guy's screen? Or do you just... He's basically targeting me? Or do you just jump and get that much height? Oh, they have a debuff. Okay, I see. Okay, cool. Interesting. You press spacebar. Alright, do I? How do I get out of here? You seriously walk out of here? Bro. Okay, yeah, I don't know. I think that this, if they converted this dungeon to a Mythic Plus, I think it would be like a 4, 3 out of 10? I think there are a lot of problems. I think this would be like a 3 or 4 out of 10, though. Let me out? Challenge? Am I gonna have to hearth? Like, seriously? Wait a second. Is there actually no way to get out of here without hearthing? Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? 3 or 4? That's about where I'd rank that. Oh my god. Stick that sound. Storm Stout. There's gonna be probably back on many affixes. Yeah, I think that's kind of something I agree with. How the fuck do I actually? Okay, I'm hearthing, I guess. We did Temple of the Jade Serpent. That was the only other one we've done so far. Oh, is that actually the way to get out of there? Start a random group in LFG, leave the group. Maybe that was a move. Ah, shit. All right, well, I'll remember that. I'll remember that if we get locked in next time. I thought you were saying that they were getting invited by other people. I didn't realize that they were just starting their own fucking group in LFG. Where am I going? We want to go Mogushan? Mogushan Palace? I've only ever done the raid. Mogushan Terrace. Never done Palace. Let me run some ads too. Will farmers do a second count? Makes sense. Ads? What is this, the Dratness channel? No, no, no. I'm not running them while I'm doing content. I'm doing them while I am running from place to place. Edge. 1 out of 87. Dude, Warlock, it's Warlock right now, faux show. Warlock is broken in Raid, Mythic Plus, and PvP. It's crazy. Scarlet Monastery is Mythic Plus has got reworked in Pandaland. I've seen Scarlet Monastery. I don't know if I want that one as a Mythic Plus, but like that's why we're going through these, right? It's like so I can, as somebody who's never done them, it'll be interesting. So wait, where's Mogushan Palace? Is it next to the raid? You rerolling? I have a hunter. This is the dungeon that they named by example. Was Shadowpan Monastery, which what's going on here? So I don't know if I've ever seen. Maybe I've done it in Time Walking? There are dungeons I've done in Time Walking where I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Mop has some nice quick ones. I think that's what I liked about Temple of the Jade Serpents, that it looked fast AF. Oh, I have done this. This thing looks like ass. Hold on. Okay, let's look at this. We'll see. I actually don't know how to spell this word. How long was it? 1733. Okay, can we get like a... All right, we're gonna watch the Koreans do Shadowpan Monastery. We watched them do Storm Stout Brewery. They had a really good time in Storm Stout in 10 minutes or something. With their bandy can. So immediately off the rip, you're pulling all of this trash. Wait, why was 720p looking like fucking 360? What the? What? All right, whatever. This is actually watchable now. Kind of. Mop Ellie? Dude, Mop Ellie was insane. I'm down for these pull sizes. I don't think that anybody's going to be pulling this big. So this is the first boss. So this guy has True Sight. None of the rest of these mobs have... This is a lot of pandas. Why do they pull these? I guess they don't have a rogue. It's also probably pretty good damage for the Ellie to be doing it like this. Same with the Warlock. They don't have count in TMs. Depends on how bad this trash is. Yeah. So like, what realistically what does this trash do? Let's go look at these bombs. These wardens have true set, but why? What do they do? There was count in CMs? Wait, what? Oh, you're right. There was count. You had to kill. It was number of mobs. Hold on. Did this warden spawn 100 ambushers? I looked away. It wasn't counting the same way, but yeah, you're right. Oh my god, I accidentally fucking killed the warden. You're right, there was a number of mobs to kill that you had to kill in a dungeon. That's a good point. So, hold on. Does he just spawn these? He does a Thundering Fist, and he spawns 100 ambushers. Okay. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of that mob. That mob, I think, either it's going to be... Oh man, I hate this first area trash. I think that this first area trash is really bad. Or at least it won't scale well into Mythic Plus is what I think. Not necessarily that it's bad, it's just like not... the scalability of it seems... like it would be a miss pretty quickly. I think that the... Whatever this mini boss is called, the one that spawned the assassins, that is just not fucking it. Okay, I don't think they would bolster, but like I think they'd be cringe, right? Because like he does one mechanic, it's Thundering Fist, and he spawns 6 ambushers on you. I don't know, man. That's just not it. That's where they got all these mobs from. I was so confused as to where they pulled them all from. But the this big guy is just thundering fisting, and he's just spawning all of them. Okay, I see. He doesn't summon again. I mean, he summoned it multiple times, clearly. The change might be fun. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Wait, what did they just do? I just missed it. I looked away for a second. So they killed the boss. Did they invis potion? They do. So the invis potion not pulling these shawlings. It's based almost certainly Trell. Trell is like 6'4", man. This is a normal skip. Yeah. I was just surprised that they've skipped anything. In most CMs that you watch, they don't skip any fucking mobs. But they're 30 or 24 to 32 mobs killed, so it makes sense. They don't need much more. Yeah, that's what I'm recognizing too. It's RP and these mobs aren't tankable? Is that what's actually going on? These mobs are literally just not tankable? Wait, why'd the Shawlings get pulled? I thought they invis potioned them. So question, why wouldn't they stack up for these non-tankable mobs? Why are they letting them just like be spread? I think that, yeah, I hate mobs like fixates like this. They spread automatically due to their jump. And you don't want to like Fist of Fury, I guess, the whole party. Okay, I don't like this. This is probably like one of the worst things that we've seen so far. Hold on, let me pause this. This is almost certainly one of the worst things that we've seen so far. Die. Is he gonna summon the dragon? Yeah, the first half of this dungeon, I'm gonna withhold judgment so far, but my fucking god, it's bad. J Temple can add trash to it. The issue with J Temple isn't that it lacks. Congrats on your soft lock, thanks. One sec, I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the restroom. Transmog farming tech? Yeah. Well, they do. Not all of it. But they have. Okay, so for Tazavesh, they changed a lot of it to be substantially shorter. And I'm not saying it's better, I'm just saying it's shorter. I'm not saying it's fixed, but it is better. RP in Mythic Plus is really bad. I agree with this. What am I in combat with? For Mythic Plus specifically, yeah, the RP is like turbo cringe. I think that the thing that I hate the most isn't necessarily the RP. It's the mandatory trash gauntlets. Those are the worst. Like the God. Like the Necrotic Wake one is like by far the worst. Sanguine Depths is not that bad. I think there's actually I think the Into Sanguine Depths is kind of okay. My God, Necrotic Wake is the worst though. It's annoying. I think the infinite spawn. Okay, so the trash and having to fight it with the boss is fine. I think the infinitely spawning bears is the issue that I have. Okay, so they skip these mobs, but somehow pull them later. I don't really know how they did that. Necrotic Wake is by far the worst. Then they run through here. Infinitely spawning mobs ain't it. Not it. Fucking hell no. Not that. Oh my God, I rooted. Those arrows would one-shot you. Okay. So. Okay. Necrotic Wake worse than Spires of Ascension. The RP is where the Necrotic Wake RP is worse than Spires of Ascension RP. Yes. The Gauntlet is worse than the fucking platform leaping, but like. So what's stopping you from stacking these mobs up exactly? Obviously, I'm in here by myself, right? So they're all on me. So, I mean, this team is just doing this inefficiently, yeah. Or maybe it's because they have, like, other trash in here, too. But I don't see the reason that they're not just, like, stacked on top of one another. A spot to snap them? Alright, hold on, I'll try something. Give me a second. I've been here before. Okay. Well, that didn't work. How about here? Not yet. Hold on. We're working on it. Okay, so now they're just in the fucking barrels. They're still hitting me. Hold on. Okay, there's no snap spot. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you just stack these up. I don't know. These are kind of obnoxious. This is an obnoxious ass boss. You have to fight waves of these? It's a bro moment. Snapping didn't exist until Legion? What the fuck? Mobs, yeah, that's true. Mobs will just evade before Legion. Okay. So what we were talking about in Necrotic Wake, yeah, so this is like just bad. The first half of this dungeon has been awful, I think. I fucking despise this. Force Trash Gauntlet. Yes! It's one of the better dungeons. I mean, I'm sure doing CMs this is like fine. This is just like not good though. It's like design. I'd say the first half of this. I liked Temple of the Jade Serpent. I thought Temple of the Jade Serpent was pretty good.
Flying snow, fragrant lotus, step forward.
This is like obnoxious tank. That dude, none of the trash has mechanics. Something I'm very few trash mobs have mechanics in these dungeons. Is what I've noticed, which I'm kind of down for. Like it was cool. It was cool in Temple of the Jade Serpent that the trash didn't have too many mechanics because it meant that you could just like big pull everything, right? But there was part of the Temple of the Jade Serpent that I thought was just really fucking bad. It's like, oh, well, I don't know. Oh, you go boss? Really? Or wait, was this not a boss? These mobs weren't the boss? No fucking way.
Very well then, outsiders. Let us see your true strength.
So what did this guy do? He ports around. Come back. Stormwithin fires himself. Okay. I'm okay with the mechanics on this boss. I don't think I've had issues with like boss mechanics yet. Did he just fucking... Did he just vile this guy? What's going on here? Another invis pot? God damn, dude. Okay. There's a bunch of useless trash in this place? Yeah. And I mean, count issues are something that, like, has been a problem for a while for Mythic Plus. And, like, this dungeon is so giga linear. A lot of the issues that I'm seeing are that, like, pretty much all the old dungeons are just turbo linear. Like, you need a rogue in most of the stuff that I've seen so far. Dude, what is this boss? Why did that live so long? He just summons these smallies. DPS check? Why is it a DPS check? Oh, because you get overwhelmed by the ads. Oh. Okay. I'm kind of okay with that. Did they just fucking meld? How did they drop threat from all that trash? It just dropped aggro. Hold on, I'll be back. No, shamans can't be Nelf. That stuff would drop aggro. Okay, so I mean, I think there's a lot. I actually don't hate the back. I have to look at this last boss, but like, what is this cringe fire stuff? Yeah, I think that this stuff looks decent. I actually like how it's open. Like, obviously, you don't really have a choice of what you're pulling, but it's like pretty wide open. And I think that that's nice. And you have to kill these two mobs to start RP? The fuck? Wait. Oh. He death gripped me? Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good. I mean, that's annoying, but it's just if those are the if there wasn't a trash gauntlet, I think I'd be okay with this. What's this extra action they have? Update mechanics? You mean like add more mechanics? I don't think they should. Did this trash actually just drop threat? There's no fucking way, right? This fucking... Okay. I'm gonna have a fucking moment with this trash. Man! I'm killing the fucking boss. Alright, trash! Hot take, should not have a fucking death grip. I'm gonna go with like a 2 out of 10. This is Shadowpan Monastery, right? Yeah. I think that some of it was okay. Like, I don't think it... It's hard for me to want to rank something a 1 out of 10, but god fucking damn it, man. This one, okay, well, look at this 1 out of 10. I don't know, man. There's a trash gauntlet with pandas. There's trash that death grips you. It's turbo linear. I don't know. I don't know. I can't leave. I made an error, dude. So does the trash just like de-aggro me if I walk over here? No, it just grits me fucking back. Alright, this is not fucking it. I don't like this dungeon. Somebody save me. How do I kill these mobs, man? Look, the panda. I can't because they fucking stunned me. Or they keep gripping me, man. Or they'll melee me the panda. So since I'm the tank, yeah? Since all these mobs are meleeing me, it'll stop the cast on panda. Bro. Can I take them back to this other panda already cleansed? You have to tank the mobs away from... Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's what I've noticed. Just... Why am I getting fucking death gripped? I hate this part. I don't know if this is a 1 out of 10, because like there were some redeeming qualities of the dungeon, but like... I think a 1 out of 10 means there are like pretty much no redeeming qualities of the dungeon at all, yeah? That's how I feel about it. But... Did you say the least? Did you say the least linear? There's no redeeming qualities of this. No. There's no redeeming qualities of this part of it. Well, this is certainly user error. No, I want to leave. Get me out. I should have done this like... Thank God. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go with like 2 out of 10 on that. I think there were redeeming qualities of the dungeon. I think that overall, there was a really bad... that boss gauntlet is just terrible. I think that boss gauntlet is really, really bad. I don't think it's 1 out of 10. The heavy linear and solar driven. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense. I really like Temple of the Jade Serpent whenever we did that one earlier. I thought that one was like... If they put that one in Mythic Plus dungeon today, I don't know how much better it is than some of the dungeons that we currently have, but like I think it's better than like Spires of Ascension. It's also short, which I thought was cool. Yeah, it's definitely a different design era. Most of the trash doesn't do anything, is what I've noticed, except for those trash mobs that death grip me. I'll do like Scarlet and Monastery after. Because those are like far from Pandaria. Let's go to Mogushan Palace. Gate of the Setting Sun. I mean, is that... Oh, is that... That's the one that's on the wall? I thought that, Interesting. Pretty much all these dungeons are mega linear. Are any of them not? I guess is the question. Are any of the dungeons not mega linear? Is Might Rating Knight for Hall of Fame? No. Obviously, it's like a different design era. Scarlet Monastery isn't linear? Hmm. Okay. Entrance is like here, yeah? Um... Oh, it's Palace. Oh, wait. Here we go. Oh, I've done this dungeon time walking before. Don't show me old Brewmaster? Dude. Look at him top damage. I mean, this is another trash gauntlet, right? You have to kill these, like, challengers before the boss spawns. Oh, this is the boss? Oh, okay. I'm more okay with this. I'm more okay with the challengers being the boss. I just don't like it whenever it's, like, RP. Yeah, it's a design thing. Yeah, it's definitely a design thing. It's more just like, how is the design on these? Is it like, interesting? They have to literally make the trash more interesting? Dude, a lot of the trash just doesn't do anything. It's crazy. They just kind of, like, white swing on your tank. Maybe they have one mechanic. Every couple of mobs, one of them will have a mechanic. I think that there is a severe lack of trash in here. Is what I'm noticing. Oh my god, even for the CMs, it was 11 out of 20 enemies. They only had to kill 20 mobs? Holy shit. Focus with the bosses. I mean, a lot of these dungeons, the focus was the bosses, yeah. Like Hunter said, it was like, it's like story-driven stuff. Okay, and so this is the last boss? This is fast. Okay. I don't... Okay, so the upside of this is that it's giga fast. So like their first pull was like this. It's like this. And they would run it into this room. So you're gonna... I don't hate this. So basically, from like a Mythic Plus scenario... Yeah, how much optimization can you do in a 4-pull? That's true. It's definitely lacking in a lot of areas, but it's short, which is the part that's okay. So you would like slam a massive pull probably with Lust off the rip. They're doing 2 bosses at once, that'd be funny. So, and then they pull it into here to start the RP on this guy. Which, I mean, I don't know if you would do that in a Mythic Plus. I think you would like do like a pretty big pull in the first room and then like drag this pack into here and start the RP. I think that... The thing I like the least is this boss. I think that this boss is... It depends on how much count you need, yeah. This is more interesting than the other dungeons I think we've seen. Not all of them. I think it's less interesting than Temple of the Jade Serpent, but I do think that this is like... This one piques my interest more, for sure. Mostly because it's like short. The biggest drawback is, one, the trash is pretty unintuitive and non-inspired because it was just a different era. But then like this boss I think is just like not lit. The rest of this dungeon I think is kind of okay.
Only Clan Harthak or Clan Kargash would stoop to such treachery. Only the dogs of Clan Gothan would point fingers at others for their own failures. Your clan is
They look like they didn't have this RP.
stopping you. Clan Gothan is
Did they have this RP?
the orderless Clan Harthak could bring in a lesser race to do their bidding.
I don't know if they had this RP in the CN. That's a lot of gold. Can I have some? I'm busy.
Your clans are clearly in league with one another.
Yeah. Yeah, what the?
Glory of our king.
The RP just ended.
We will put you all down.
Oh, you have to open the thing? Really? But in CMs it just opened. Okay, that's why I didn't understand this. This makes sense. I thought it was like, they looked like they didn't have RP. Waiting for RP and Mythic Plus always bad. I don't think it's always bad. It depends on how long it is. We've seen some pulls in some of these dungeons that's like 10 seconds of RP, and that stuff's been kind of chill. But the 30-second long RP is certainly an issue. You can jump off of this? Did they run around? How did they get over? Did they actually run around? Wait, they just jumped over. Why can't I jump over this? Oh, I can't. What? Oh, okay. That's cool. And I think that this is fine. Papega. Moron. Starting RP early is definitely a nice... In Tazavesh, I think the downside of the downside of the Tazavesh RP is that there is 3 full points of roleplay in the dungeons. I think that that's like a major drawback, but I think that the style of the RP in Tazavesh is not that bad. I think that the Necrotic Wake gauntlets or like the Spires of Ascension RP, those are the ones that are definitely the most egregious for me. Missing the lift was tragic. Yeah, missing a cycle on that seems pretty bad. But then they grab this. Where's the final boss? Oh, it's over here? What? Okay. The Menagerie boss RP is pretty bad. Well, yeah, but I like that you can start it early, but I don't like that there are 3 bosses of RP. So I'll have to fix that. This mom just evaded off of me. Um, does this mob just... Oh, the boss just attack him. Okay. So you don't even have to kill these guardians. I don't know where I put this. This is an interesting one. So it's like, it's not the best dungeon I've ever done, and like I don't know how, like, what the replayability would be like for this. But the door stays closed. You have got to be kidding me. Doesn't notice. True. Real and true. Wait, it doesn't port me out of here. Did that only work for Stormstout? Loot that dude, maybe? Maybe. They just don't have ports. They don't have ports out of the dungeon in this day and age. Abdal Hearth, it's fine. Oh, Dreamwalking, good call, good call, good call. Thank you. I think it's like a 4 out of 10. It's definitely better than Stormstout Brewery. I like how short it is. It's not the most inspired thing, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's like a 4 out of 10. There's not a lot of trash. And notably also not a lot of trash mechanics in Mists of Pandaria. But, I don't think that's not that bad. Alright, let's do... where this dungeon is. Gate of the Setting Sun. It's low for a dungeon that you didn't complain about. So, like, here's the thing. I mean, what I don't know if I have a 10 yet. Like, I don't know if I have a dungeon that's like, oh my god, it's a 10. There's no downsides. There's no, like, I think over a 5 is a dungeon that I don't hate replaying over and over again. If you're forcing me to put a 10 on something, I would probably put a 10 on like probably like either EOA or Freehold. Those are the only two that are like, but like in general, I would put those at like an 8 or a 9. I think like in terms of the dungeons can get better. EOA, yeah, I mean EOA and Freehold both had massive like bad qualities, right? Like the EOA and Freehold both had pretty hard downsides at some points. They just kind of depend on what you were doing. I don't know. EOA trash? EOA trash was good, because you could skip as much as you want. You play literally whatever you wanted. That's the advantage of Ivashara. You literally play whatever you wanted. Yeah, but it all sucked? That's not true. There were crabs and they didn't do anything. What does Boom can take? I'm telling you, like, in terms of, like, dungeon... I'm just literally talking purely dungeon design. But, I mean, there were still massive drawbacks to both Ivashara and Freehold, so I wouldn't even put them at a 10. I would put them at, like, an 8. Yeah, skill expression requires flexibility, and those are the most flexible dungeons that we've seen so far. And those are the things that I actually, like, I value pretty highly. And while Mogashan Palace isn't like a dungeon that I necessarily hated, the replayability of that dungeon seems relatively low. It's kind of like the same thing as Temple of the Jade Serpent, and why it's only like a 6. I thought that Temple of the Jade Serpent was decent, but I think that there were some like pretty overt drawbacks for melee, and the replayability of it seemed like it was going to be quite rough. Plus, it's pretty linear, so it's like those. there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but I think that like generally more open concept dungeons are the dungeons that I personally find more appealing. All right, so what is this? Terrace, Gate of the Setting Sun. I was called Terrace of the Setting Sun. Gate. This is a dungeon that I didn't know existed. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever you hear people talk about like challenge modes and dungeons and stuff like that, this is a dungeon I've literally never heard of somebody talk about. Gate of the Setting Sun in 538 by Gingy TV. Wonder who that could be. I'm not going to slave pens. Let me turn this off ×2 speed. I don't think that this one needs to be ×2. So off the rip, they immediately... Didn't Freehold have first? The issue I had with Freehold was the rotating boss order. That was really, really cringe. And then the pig RP was like, I didn't like those things that were pretty big downsides to me. And then like obviously the bosses one-shot you, which was fixable, but it just didn't get fixed. Wait, why did Gingy upload this Brewmaster's POV? I was so confused for a second. Yeah, what? This is Ken tanking, but like, why did Gingy just upload Ken's POV to this? They pull all the trash in the corner and they tank. I actually don't understand how that boss works. Content is content. It's just funny that Gingy uploaded Zalia's POV and it was just like, Gate of the Setting Sun. Obviously, it doesn't fucking matter. That is a long run. Oh my goodness, these are some long runs. Okay. I'm not gonna give it like minus points for the mobs evading because that's just how it was in Mists. But damn, that was a long run. How long was that run? F tier for this. Well, you can mount up, so it's less terrible because you can mount up. This is the worst dungeon. Why was it the worst? Can you explain? The bombs will explode. There's vehicle combat? Oh, God. Is it bad vehicle combat? Okay, this boss... Can we just stand in the corner here? Is that like a thing? Or will the bombs hit me through the wall? Okay. This is certainly a boss. You'd have to lust this. I don't hate the mechanics on this fight. It feels kind of gimmicky, like Flame Captain Valeri from Toldagor with the bomb moving, but it's not that bad. I think that's like a middle range boss. Like if I saw that today, I wouldn't immediately hate it. It's kind of obnoxious, but like I wouldn't hate it. Isn't vehicle combat just more like a cannon? Okay. My. Yeah, that boss is fine. I think that boss is like decent. This. Okay, so there's a pack here. It's a 3 mob pull. And you could skip it with like a rogue. Dude, what does this run? Like 45 seconds? For 6 mobs? Okay, so they would probably bug fix this. There's a lever. Oh. Okay, so I don't like that. That's, the 45 seconds for 6 mobs is like... 45-second run for 6 mobs is not it. At least it's not DOS level running. Well, I mean, that's a big downside of the other side, isn't it? Is that run is... I mean, the runs in DOS are just... AFK long, too, for no reason. I mean, that is one of the bigger downsides of the other side, is just those... Just running across is so long. It's the woe buff is woe just in general is I think pretty cool. I like the seasonal affix. I think the seasonal affix is pretty well designed. I don't think adding mobs helps this dungeon either, really. Dude, what are they? He just transcendenced out. And then he, oh my god, he ported his group there with the cannon. Okay, that's actually a 6-head play. Maybe this is why they got world first. That was a common play. I mean, it's a good play. Oh. That's what this guy's from. Okay, I understand. So wait, what's the cannon? Oh, are the cannons used on this boss? Do you shoot him whenever he's in the air? Is that what actually is going on here? I'm trying to understand. Oh, the last boss? What are those cannons for then? To jump onto him. Oh. Yeah, look at that. They're getting in the artillery. I see what's going on here. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, so that's less vehicle combat. It's more... Okay. He's got a fixate. Thank you, Gingy. Okay, I will continue to run out this dungeon. I'll see what this is like. I'm not gonna lie. I don't mind this elevator with the lever. I think the lever is cool. The cycles, the cycle elevators that we have right now, where if you miss a cycle, you're just losing infinite time, is less interesting. I think the elevator is like not bad. Okay, and so then you... There is a surprising lack of trash in a lot of these dungeons. Except for Storm Stout Brewery, which I thought had too much unskippable trash. Huh. Interesting. I don't know how they would redo this. How long am I spending just running, not doing anything? Like if I timed it, I think I'm probably spending like 2 minutes running around, not doing anything. It's really weird. You send people up there to break his thing. Okay. And it increases his damage taken by 300%. Honestly, I'm kind of down with this last boss. This last boss is kind of cool. There's not a ton going on that. There's not a ton going on that. But I think I don't hate this boss. God, what would I get this? It's probably a 2 out of... It's probably a 2 or a 3. I think that it's a 2 out of 10. I think it was more egregious than Storm Stout Brewery. No, so the runs... Okay, here are the downsides, right? Here's the issue with a lot of these mop dungeons that I'm running into. The replayability and the expression that you can turn them into a Mythic Plus is severely lacking in some points. Like, why would you want to replay that dungeon again, right? Like, so with dungeons like... think of the dungeons that you have fun in right now, this expansion or whatever. Halls of Atonement, the only one. But, I mean... So even most of the dungeons today... There's a lot of different stuff that's going on that allows you to play the dungeon over and over again and have a little bit of a different experience or a different run. And for like the best dungeons, you kind of get that every single time. Like there are so many different Halls of Atonement routes. There's so many adaptations that you can make in that dungeon. Composition changed that dungeon, not a lot, but like enough to where you feel like you're doing a different run every single time and you find it fun. In addition to that, there's a lot of with the difference in pathing that you can do, there's a lot of cool stuff that happens in there. With this dungeon, and this is, again, the issue that I would probably put it at like a 2 out of 10. It's like, there were 5 or 6 trash pulls and a lot of running. The amount of time that you spend running relative to the amount of time that you spend fighting the trash was tough. The bosses, while they were good, I actually didn't have I don't think there's been bosses. There have been a couple bosses I've had problems with. What was that last dungeon I was in? Shadowpan Monastery. Like, these bosses, some of the bosses in Shadowpan Monastery were good. Some of the bosses in Shadowpan Monastery, there was one with like RP and shit. I was just not having it. So, like, I don't know. And it's difficult to make boss fights in Mythic Plus feel different. So, at least for me. Again, this is just personal preference, but I think that the trash is generally the most redeeming quality to Mythic Plus dungeons. And it's difficult to make bosses feel different every single time, because even when they... What did you raid slave? I'm not going into slave pens! Because even when they do things like bosses on a rotation, it's not fun. So I think that I don't know how Blizzard should make bosses more engaging in Mythic Plus, and I think that, at least in my mind, they should go a little bit away from like 4-minute tyrannical fights. I mean, obviously that's like only at a high end, but like generally like longer boss fights is are less engaging. Yeah, we're going to Siege of New Zao Temple. That's where we're going. What do we have left? Scarlet Halls and Skullomance and Siege of New Zao Temple and Scarlet Monastery. Okay. I'll go to the other ones. Yeah, we're gonna go to the other ones. Siege of New Zao Temple. High precision, high stakes. Yeah, I just like the skill expression. I think the skill expression of the Mythic Plus dungeons is like the coolest part, right? I mean, it's like I do think that the design era, these were designed to be ran one time, and this is fine. Like, or they were designed to be ran like 4 times total, and I think that this is totally fine. Oh, this is this dungeon. Okay. Let me pull up the video. We got a world record at 10:16. Holy shit! That is kind of long. Wait, whatever. It starts like they start just like 15 seconds in. What does the beginning look like? They start like 2 minutes in. That other video just started 2 minutes in. Like, what? Do you like the idea of tyrannical weeks not making the bosses have high HP / more damage, but additional abilities? I think that would certainly be more interesting. It's one of those things that like they've messed up tyrannical for basically since its existence. This one's a banger. Dude, if it's slave pins, I'm banning you. Okay. Yeah. Longer just isn't fun. Yeah, I agree with that. Longer just is not fun on its own. Oh. I'm confused. So wait. They're getting this damage buff from these slimes and then starting the dungeon? Is that what's going on? Yeah, that's what it looks like they're doing. Increased damage dealt by 60%. Okay. I understand. I mean, that's pretty gimmicky. That wouldn't last. Okay, so here's the thing. That wouldn't last in a Mythic Plus. It's not like... This is definitely some mop CM stuff. Okay, interesting for... I like the trash. Okay, so one of the things I actually think that's interesting is the damage buff that you get from killing the slimes. I think that is cool. I do think that the time that you're gaining from, or not the time, but like the damage increase, like that you're able to get here. I think that's interesting. So we kind of have these in Shadowlands dungeons with Sanguine Depth, but with Sanguine Depth they're super punishing because like there are lanterns, there's only a finite number of them, kind of that kind of thing, and they're not attached to mobs, like they're attached to like the lanterns themselves. I think with like this being attached to those slimes, and I really like how this front area is kind of open, where if you decide that you don't need all of this trash, you don't necessarily have to pull it. You can kind of skip as much as you really want here. Okay, I like that. That part I think is... This part for me has been more interesting than the other dungeons that we've seen. And then obviously they're starting with like a 12 stack of this, 60% increased damage. Or maybe they're 100. Is it 120%? Is it 10% per stack? Whatever it is. I'm also a big fan of stacking damage buffs. That's lit. There's also a world where you pull these mobs into like the boss as well in reset. You would like in the current day and age, you know what you do? You just like leave one blinded or some shit. You would kill like the whole pack, and then you would pull into the boss, and then you'd have like the blinded one come in, like just one, and then you would extend it. Yeah. This is what you would do in today's day and age. You would extend it later. They missed the extend, -1 point, but cool. I think the only bad part about this place will be second about Scotland. Yeah, I mean, right now it's starting to get a little bit linear, but the openness of the first area I think was pretty cool. I liked that. So this part, this is like almost mandatory trash, where you like shroud or invis potion. It's not necessarily bad. It's actually kind of okay to have these things at certain points in dungeons. It just depends on how it ultimately ends up feeling to play those kind of things. Oh, yeah, no, so I've done this in time walking. Obviously not super relatable. I never have liked this boss. I think that this gauntlet, oh god. This is tough because that first area was so cool. And so you see there are people up top throwing like these bombs down here. Yeah, they could have kept those 4 slimes available until the there's optimizations that could be made. This is obviously like a 10-year-old video almost. Man, throwing these bombs. You think? God, I hate this. I did not play in Mop. I did not start until WAD. Ooh, this is definitely a resident sleeper moment. Okay. The first part of this dungeon was so sick too. This is something that I think that if they like were gonna seriously redo a boss for Mythic Plus, if they hit this boss, I would not hate it. Also, this wouldn't give count, yeah. But like, this has been a long time they've spent on this boss too, man. It feels, oh god, this is really gimmicky. I think is the best way of describing it. It's like it's just tanking the boss in the tar perma, so he's getting that buff, right? Like they're gonna adjust anything? Yeah, well, I mean, I was just saying if they would. If they would be so kind. How do you activate this boss? It'll be a live tested, probably. Kill trash? You have to kill trash in the room. Interesting. Or is it a Amber Weavers? Okay, so it makes sense. So I think that this first little area is really sick. There's also a lot of skill expression available whenever you're killing these resin flakes. When you're stacking up your damage increase buff, like how you're utilizing it, those things are super sick. And I think that would make for like a pretty cool part of an instance. I like that. And also like the trash was, it wasn't like the most linear thing, or it wasn't the most open thing I've ever seen, but it wasn't the most linear thing I've ever seen either. So there's definitely a lot of redeeming qualities there.
Look out there. Too many for us to take head on. I have a crazy idea.
I think. So then this boss.
Let's give these mantis a taste of their own medicine.
Once the gauntlet is done, could be that actually. I mean, there's a lot of cool things that you could do, right?
Lee and Lo, get the sap into position. Let's get this party started, shall we?
Snapping wasn't implemented until Legion.
We'll squish you like bugs.
We went Gate of the Setting Sun. I was not a fan. There wasn't like any trash or anything there. Also, like this dungeon really punishes melee, yeah?
Use the sap to slow them down.
How much is this caustic? How much does this buff? Oh, it just does damage. I thought it was a debuff. It does do a debuff? I don't see the debuff on these mobs. Maybe I'm not tracking the debuff or something. Oh, the debuff is probably attached to a slow that's not being tracked on my frames. How are you supposed to do this boss as a melee? Yeah, as of the gong.
Demolishers are carrying explosives.
So you can either accelerate it by hitting the gong, or you can just wait. Is that what's going on here? Oh my fucking god, it fell off. Plus ratio. Can you play a melee in this dungeon? These are bombs. Okay, interesting. Razor fantastic. I think that this dungeon is interesting. I think this dungeon has a lot of redeeming qualities. This boss is really bad.
Warrior coming in. Focus your fire.
Think if they're gonna if they revisited this boss and updated it to the current year, I think this dungeon would be sick. The gong, fuck me. Yeah, again though, how are you supposed to do this as melee, man? Yeah, kind of sick. This boss is bad. Melee can kill us. I guess you have to have either like a... The same way melee does everything ever. They don't? Hold on, checkmate? They don't do anything? Okay, so Commander Vojal is coming. Oh, okay, this is interesting. You would ideally like to have like a full line of these things here. Oh my god, I'm just doing myself. What is this? Oh. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, I'm thinking. This caustic tar debuff. Okay, cool. I think the caustic tar mechanic is interesting. I think that the waves of ads that are spawned on this boss are bad. That was a... Oh man, that's gonna be really hard to rank. I think this dungeon has a lot of potential. Wait, did they just pull a pack? They pull a pack of trash through the wall. Is this Mists of Pandaria Scythe? Oh my god! The OG hunter pet pulling through the wall! Who could have possibly foreseen this? I've never seen this before. We don't rank potential? Yeah. We rank current state. I mean, that boss is really bad. Most of the Mist bosses I haven't been like, oh, this boss is bad. It's more like, this boss... that boss... That's probably the worst boss I've seen.
Let me see here. 30-second fuse.
Is this Tar Trap?
I say 30. I meant 3. Go.
Or Slow Trap?
Stop the siege.
Ice Trap? What is it and why is it so obnoxious? Is it? It's just Tar Trap? Okay. But it used to be Ice? What a terrible, terrible visual for that. What an awful visual. This guy's playing serve. These guys are manly. Okay, so they skipped the trash coming into this room. They skipped all the trash coming into this room, and then whenever he activated the reinforcements, they pulled all the trash on top of the boss. Because the boss didn't do anything then. Interesting. Oh. The boss makes bombs? Do the bombs hit the trash? Oh, shit. Okay. Dude, this dungeon is sick. If the bombs... Hold on. I have to go test this. Does the bombs hit the trash? Really? Wait, this dungeon is sick. Alright, there's a lot of trash that's over here. Maybe this is less sick. Maybe this is less sick. Can't jump over the railing. Yeah, a lot of stuff you can natty skip. So there's a lot of trash. No. What I was saying is that there's a lot of trash over here. So, like... Are we gonna end up with, like, a Tol Dagor incident where there's, like, a... Where you pull all of this shit into the boss and you just bomb it? Yeah, that's the question, is, like, how egregious can this be? Because, like, if it's just these 3 packs... Yeah, you know... That's a lot of trash. If they do M0 damage, that'd be... You would likely go away or count? Yeah, that's probably true. Especially with, like, the first area. The first area is pretty good. He phases at percentage HP. I hate to hear that. What can I do? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I didn't kill him. I'm not gonna out. Okay, so he calls enforcements. Where are these bombs? Did these hit the trash? Oh, the bomb. Oh, God. Is this stack? Axe? You throw it on the boss while I shielded? Yeah, I hit that. Okay. How do you miss? I don't know. Good friend. Okay. They break the shield. Makes sense. Very interesting. I worry that that would be gimmicky, but the bombs didn't seem so. They put a stacking buff, right? The 5% damage, increased damage taken buff, and they, assuming that it doesn't turn into like Toldagor, I think that that's kind of cool. This I'm less enthused about. I've done this in time walking before, and I've found it to be particularly obnoxious. I don't know about great, yeah. I found it obnoxious. Because you have to clear out this trash, right? Because you're fighting the boss on... Is it on this platform? I think it is. Yeah, so you have to... So you're forced to clear out this trash. I like this dungeon. Ah, fuck. I don't even know where I'd rank this. The second boss is so bad. Okay, so it's four bosses. The second boss is just a crime. God. Yeah, the stacking blob buff is so cool. The bombs, I think, are pretty sick. It's relatively open, too. I don't know. So, like, I think if it came out exactly in this state, I don't even know. What would I put this at? Like a 6? I think if it came out in this state, I'd give it like a 6. But like, second boss was really, really cringe. I think it's... Yeah. I think that there is a lot of room. If they updated the second boss in this dungeon, they could make it a lot more... interesting. Basically, that second boss is... way too long. Way too long. It's RP. It's gated behind the caustic bombs, or what are they called. But I think that there are a lot of really cool parts of Siege of Muzao. Yeah, I don't know. I think 6 is fair. I think it's better than some of the Shadowlands dungeons. Cool. I think that this is and then this last boss is like kind of obnoxious, but it's not the best, it's not the worst. Like, I think that boss is, this is fine. I think that the Mists of Pandaria just in general has had pretty decent bosses though. We already done Stormstop Brewery. We've done all of the like Mists ones, right? Now we gotta go do Scarlet Hall, Scarlet Monster, and Skull Mance. Alright, let me run some ads while I make my way to Scarlet Halls and Scarlet Monastery. Dude, this dungeon's cool. I really like this dungeon. I didn't know that I was going to come in here and be like, damn, there was a dungeon that I was just like, fucking thought it was sick. That dungeon is sick. I need to go to Undercity. Second boss is really bad. It's hard to explain, but that second boss is Like, I think it's King's Rest third boss level terrible. I think it would need like a slight redesign. Which is the one on the right? Scarlet Halls? Okay. Wait, people did this in 2 minutes? Are the ads done? Wait, this is Jinji. Speed running. Hold on, I have this on 1.5 speed because all the other runs that we've seen so far have been kind of slow. What the fuck did they just use? Stabbed by Jinji, yeah. How are they moving? Is this on speed up? What did they just use? Rocket boots? The fuck? This is a really small dungeon. Yeah. That's what I've noticed. All credit goes to twitch.tv/stabbed by Jinji. I love how it said that at the bottom. See, this is about the speed that I expect whenever they're like gun choosing or whatever. I didn't realize that they were just gonna rocket boots 3 times as fast as like you reasonably could. Where's the boss? What is going on? Why is Ken doing 600,000 DPS? Obviously, like, Vengeance was broken. What was he doing? Is it just Vengeance? No wonder tanks hate tanking. No wonder tanks hate tanking. Because you used to have shit like this. What is he doing? He's actually just... No wonder tanks hate tanking. Okay, I think this dungeon's kind of lame. I don't know. This is a 6 CM run. I don't know if this would make a good Mythic Plus dungeon. Hold on, let's walk through this. So this would probably be your first pull. It's just like... You could maybe do it into here. Okay, so that'd be an interesting first pull. I think that... The trash doesn't do anything, even... Oh, really? Even after they reworked it in Mop, the trash still doesn't do anything?
Another down. Do not relent. Keep firing. Let
The timer in this dungeon would be so short. It would be interesting to see like a dungeon with like a 12-minute timer or something.
relent.
I'm not sure if I would like that.
Keep firing. Let none escape.
How do I... 8 vaults? Damn, that's a good point. I don't know. It's weird. The trash doesn't... Trash doesn't do anything. What is going on? It's so weird. Aesthetically, this dungeon is kind of weird. Obviously, it's old and they remastered it, but like... They would all be short. All the Mist dungeons were particularly short, which I think is a good thing. But some of them, like Mogushan Palace, that one is like a 15-minute dungeon, I think. Maybe like a 20. Maybe somehow you can make it like maybe like a 20-minute dungeon. But like that, there's no way that thing is even like getting close to 25 or 30. Which is like, is that a bad thing necessarily? I don't know. Bad for Blizzard metrics? But the question is it like bad for... So if the dungeons are super short too, it's not always just a good thing, right? It's not always just like super good if the dungeons are short, because you also have to worry about like, are these dungeons going to be fun to replay over and over again if they're very short? They're good for the mental though. This is a good point. That's actually something that's... This is good for the mental. There is less place for skill expression. At the same time, there's less space for you to like wipe 35 minutes into the key and you're like, this fucking sucks. I don't know. Just no fish sticks. You guys did well this weekend, by the way. Even though you got 4th, your group was particularly tough. Yeah, I don't know. I think that this dungeon wouldn't translate super well.
Another chance to test my
It would be... give Stormstep Brewery like a 3, I think. Yeah. There's a lot of bad shit in Stormstep Brewery. Predictions on tomorrow's affixes? Aren't they... Don't we know what we're supposed to get next week? Oh, maybe you can mash it back into 1. Okay, Stormstep... okay. Explain to me why you think it's sick. I mean, this is obviously Scarlet Halls. This isn't Scarlet Monastery. We kind of didn't practice half the maps. Yeah, that was noticeable. I think with that being like, with that in mind, like you guys played pretty well. If you guys want to try for the last stand tournament, I think you guys would have a pretty good shot. All right, well, so I think Scarlet Halls. I don't think this would scale that well into Mythic Plus. I think it's too... I agree that I think it's too... I think it's just too short. I would be interested to see what it would look like as a Mythic Plus dungeon. Obviously, it's like if it's like a 1-season thing and they like... I would be kind of interested to see what it would look like as a Mythic Plus dungeon. Like, can we live in a world with like a 15 or 20-minute timer? At the same time, though, like, there's not a lot going on here. All right, let's go look at Scarlet Monastery. Scarlet Halls. I think this would be like a 3. Maw of Souls is great. Give me more. I think Maw of Souls had some redeeming qualities. I think that there was like some really bad shit in Maw. I think that mall was like pretty fixable though, with like all the bad stuff that it had. The thing with like the Legion dungeons, like that, a lot of them had really, really bad stuff, but I think a lot of them were pretty easily fixable. It just depends on how much like effort Blizzard's going to put into like fixing the dungeons, yeah. Because like if we're gonna have them for like a full season or full expansion or whatever, I would heavily encourage some of them to be just like fixed. Okay, I think this is like a 3 out of 10. By the way, the issue that I had with Stormstout Brewery is that there was a just fuck ton of running around. There was a lot of mobs that didn't give count, and like I think the beginning was like really bad. The Arcway, oh my god, dude, yeah. Who designed that pack? Who decided to put another seer in there on teaming? I'll never know. Yeah, I mean, there's some pulls in lead. Like, a lot of the dungeons were, like, pretty good most of the way there, and then it's just like, put this mob here. Why is this thing tuned like this? That just happened for a lot of the pulls where you're just like, what the fuck is this? Oh. It's called Monastery wrong, it's fine. Dude, what is this UI? How is it legal to go this fast? Wicked. It's like JPC the man. They're swapping to multiple POVs? Oh, Disc and Hunter POV? I see what this is going on. I'm shocked that this is a multi-POV video. This is sick. It's got 16,000 views. Okay, well that obviously shouldn't happen. Like, they would fix that. Yeah, this dungeon feels... I don't know what's going on. They're evading, resetting path. Oh, he feigned death. He feigned death the trash because they didn't need it for count or something. What was that item? I don't know, man. Every dungeon I've seen, they use this amber block toy too. Hold on, let me just run this back one more time. He fucking clicked it. He opened his character pane and clicked it. That owns. There is count. So there's count in CMs. It's 12 out of 40 enemies. So it's not like count, it's like number of mobs killed. And you just had to kill that many mobs. That's how CMs were. I forgot about this too. Giga Chad. Giga Chad opens character pane in combat, clicks. Dude, this guy, I don't know. This UI is not as bad as the Hunter's UI, thank God. See, this one's pretty open, yeah. Doing this with the boss is sus. This is kind of cool. Was all of this trash in here? Were all these Scarlet Fanatics in here? Or did they pull them in? It's hard for me to tell because we're just looking at the disc. Okay, hold on. I'll just do this dungeon. Give me a second. This first area is pretty cool. You're in there? Okay, yeah. I like this. This is the replayability worry. This is the dungeon that's definitely the replayability worry because it's not that I'm having a problem with anything here. I think that what I've seen is like pretty good. It's it's 3 bosses, and there's not a lot going on. You'd most likely shroud all of this, if I had to guess. You update the mobs to do mechanics? Yeah, I mean, you need to. No path available. I think this one has potential. I think this is a dungeon with a lot of that would have a lot of potential to, if like it got brought into a Mythic Plus dungeon. I don't love this. This is tough because these are like almost mandatory pulls, right? Because they're in the boss room. This one you can work it out either. Yeah, it would be cool. It'd be a cool like 15, 20-minute dungeon though. I think having one of these would be like interesting. I would be interested to see how this works. This is definitely better than Scarlet Halls. I think this is actually a really interesting dungeon. All of the trash pulls if you pull the boss. Okay, so like even these packs on the right and the left. Hold on, let me pull the boss.
Legend begins now.
Oh, it looks like they don't pull. So the stuff on the right and the left doesn't pull if you pull the boss, which I'm okay with. It looks like I missed some of these purifiers. Well, okay. I'm okay with this. So the trash isn't like actually mandatory. I mean, it's you're gonna have to kill this trash, but
You shall pay for this treachery.
okay.
Arise, my champion.
I'm not a fan of this RP either. I mean, I've killed him too fast, but hold on, let me go back. Oh shit. MC abuse? Yeah, that's gotta go. Yeah. Somebody's saying something about that. Like, they would never let that happen, right? I think that this is an interesting dungeon. What would I give this? Like a... It's probably like a 5? I think this has potential. I think it's like 5 out of 10. I think this does seriously have potential. Maybe a little bit higher. Maybe like a 6. This is the one that I seriously worry like serious concerns about replayability, but overall would be interesting for a short dungeon. I think that's how I feel about it. It's like a 6, but it's like a 5 or a 6, but it's like I worry that you would not want to run this dungeon like 3 times in a row. Or like whoa. Like playing it over and over again is just not a thing, really. And that's the concern. Also, the trash is not very intricate. Basically, the trash does nothing. There is a lot that they could do some reworks, and they could make this dungeon pretty sick, I think. Obviously, they would have to remove the MC abuse with the DK. That's not a thing that's gonna happen. But they could bolster it up to be pretty decent. All right, let's go to Skullman's, and then I think that's it. Skullman's is in Western Playlands, right? Okay. Okay, I think... I'm down with Scarlet Monastery. That was interesting. Definitely more interesting than some of the other dungeons. Skull Man, I don't know if I've ever played Snow. With commentary. 17 minutes. I don't want it that long. $6.53? Oh, here's a Gingy POV of him doing it in 6 minutes. What the? These guys are cracked. I really liked, I think that Siege of New Zhao is a dungeon that, like, if they update the second boss, it could be really lit. Temple of Jade Serpent, I think, like, kind of caps out at like a 5 or a 6. But I thought that this one was pretty good too. I was like, what the? That was the first one we did. I was like, wait, what the fuck? I was like, this is not even that bad of a dungeon. There have been some where I'm just there are a couple of them. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Whatever the Gate of the Setting Sun. I was not having Gate of the Setting Sun. That one was not it. Oh, Shadowpan Monastery? Yeah. That was a terrible dungeon. Not a fan. Okay, let me look at this. Let me watch this Gingy video. It's just Ken's POV uploaded to Gingy's YouTube. Whatever. Is he undead? Or is it just a toy? Super interesting. Can you pull this into the boss? Like, okay, so the issue with Mythic Plus in general is, like, I see pulls like this done in CMs, and I'm just like, how doable is a pull like this? Because, like, obviously you're gonna have Lust and CDs right off the rip. If a pull like this is doable in Mythic Plus, it's really cool. If a pull like this, if you have to break this up into 2 or 3 separate pulls, it's really lame. So it's more of an issue of, like, how hard is this first boss gonna be? Trash and Mop had no mechanics. Trash and Mists of Pandaria just in general had no mechanics. The question is, like, is this doable? And if the answer is yes, then, like, that's kind of a cool first pull. It's fast right off the rip, right? So, like, the gate drops and you're right into the first pull. It's action-packed. I mean, they did it in 653. I don't know what the fuck they did. So the Invis pod here. Okay. Okay, I don't like that. I like that they Invis potted this. I don't like this part of the dungeon. It's like 5 huge pulls. So this could feel kind of like Maw of Souls-esque. What is this? What is this on his UI? You have to find her when she vanishes? So, what is this thing? It's like a weak aura? See the mirror copies? I'm gonna go pull this boss. Give me a second. Because I don't fully understand what I'm looking at. Oh, interesting. In the CM, they like completely took out. Okay.
Is now in session.
You want to have me one shutter? Okay, yeah, I want one shutter then. So whenever you pull this, does it pull all this trash? Oh no, she absorbs it all. Okay. Oh. Oh, so this would end up being like a 5 or 6 mob into the boss pull. I don't hate this. Do you have them uploaded to YouTube, Selin? This is a doable pull.
I can never die. This cannot be.
There's Twitch VODs. If you link it, I'll watch it. So this, I don't like this part of this dungeon. That part, I don't like this part of the dungeon with all these skeletons and stuff. Assisting the allies much this week? I should. This is a lot of really cramped trash. Top fill about this, yeah, this is like a lot of really cramped trash. I don't know. We've done everything except we've done basically everything, yeah. We're just ranking how they would be like if they were adapted to Mythic Plus. It's kind of interesting. I thought that Mokushan Palace was interesting. Like, it was fast, but like it's one of those things that I don't know if you would want to like redo that dungeon more than once. That's the biggest issue with Mokushan Palace, I think. It's like, it was one of those things that's like, I didn't think it was bad. It was really low on trash. And it would be like a 15-minute dungeon. That was a name I haven't seen in a while. Okay, so I think that this, I don't like this room. I think that this room is kind of cursed. Yeah, there's no affixes to interact with. It's you have to factor in how affixes are going to matter with some of these things. That's why something like Storm Stout Brewery and like Shadowpan, I was just like, what are you supposed to do about these? Like, what are you supposed to do about like Sanguine in here, man? The Temple of Jade Serpent as well. It was just one point I'm like, oh, dude, what are you gonna do with the affixes in here? This is interesting. Okay. Let me attack this boss once. Oh, fucking killed her. Alright, whatever. I'll just watch this period then. You get a prideful. Yeah. Okay. Good fucking luck with that. You get a prideful. So the bosses are cool. I think one of the things that I've noticed is like with the Mists bosses, they've all been like pretty decent, but the trash doesn't do shit. Take her weapon. Oh shit! I should take the weapon off. I don't know. I'm not a fan of this one. So it's like short. This feels very much like trash dense but short Maw Soul style is how I would describe it. It's like, yeah. Wait, you could change your talents mid-CM? I forgot about that. Oh my god. I literally forgot about this. Yeah, this would be like 5 big pulls. I think that... Do this, Mom. Wait, how many bosses are in here? Is this actually 5 boss dungeon? The hell? Maybe this would be more interesting. Oh, yeah, I see it. I see it. It's 5 boss. I didn't realize. I thought it was a 3 boss dungeon. I don't know why. So I didn't like the second boss's room of trash. I think that this would be I don't know. I don't hate this. I think this third boss room is fine. Okay, I think this dungeon's too trash dense. It's kind of where I'm landing on this. Is just like there's way too much trash. Can you can actually skip most of this now? Wait a second. Hold on. So this room, like, this is fine. This room is fine. One moment. A lot of them are non-elites? Oh, what? Okay. Oh. The gate isn't locked, you can skip all? Yeah, it's kind of what I'm looking at. It's just like, wait. You can skip most of this track. So Zalia here is pulling it all, but you could just run to the left and skip most of this. Which, okay. I don't mind that. Yeah, I didn't realize they were for RP purposes. I thought that they were just like intended to be fought. I've never run these dungeons. No. I didn't play Classic. I didn't play Classic, and I didn't play in Mists. So I seriously have never played these dungeons. Okay. So these two elites. So basically, you would just fight these two elites, I think. Or no, you could maybe even skip this one. It depends. So you would probably do like this pull and pull into the room. Okay, you can't jump over this. So you would definitely pull this into the room. You'd fight it here. And then you would skip the rest of this. Okay. But you could pull it if you wanted to. Initially, I didn't like this because I thought that this room was going to be too small. Or like pretty obnoxious with like how dense this trash was. Now that I'm really looking at it, I think it's less bad than my initial inclination was going to be. Because like obviously they're pulling it all in this, but they're pulling it all for different reasons here. It depends. It depends on how much you need. It depends on how much count you need. Depends on like meta pulls. Yeah, you would either have to pull this whole room, or you'd have to pull like some of the skellies in that room, in that room that they skipped. Which I mean, it makes sense why. Dude, look at Zalia. Just 500,000 DPS. These big dudes are neat. I think the big dudes like with non-elites surrounding them, like, holy shit, is lagging. Oh, 1 million DPS? Ayo! What is going on here? Wait, they killed the boss? Wait, whoa. They did the boss with this pull? Holy shit. Okay. The humanoids do a damage taken debuff. I like this. This is something that I've noticed that actually happens a lot in Mist Dungeons. There's just a lot of damage taken increase buffs in a lot of these Mist Dungeons, and I think that those are cool. Okay, this guy is slow. So you're talking about these humanoids right here? Oh, interesting. Okay. So does it spread to her whenever you kill the carvers? It's like if you kill the carver, does the buff spread to her? Oh no, it just spreads to him. And so you'd have to kill these meat. Okay, interesting. Meat grafts off first. Huh. This is a weird one. I don't know how I'm supposed to rank this. Yeah, only to other carvers. Yeah. I see there's a... So you'd probably pull all the humanoids. So you'd want to probably pull all the humanoids because they'll kill themselves. Wait, she has a phase 2? Wait, so oh, they killed her and then she was doing something else. Wait, is there an... Hold on. What is this room? Oh, dude, I am down. Okay, a lot of this trash is natty skippable. And you could... Oh, okay. This is... I'm kind of coming around to this. A lot of this trash is just naturally skippable. Or, like, you can just do one pack and then skip the rest. You're gonna have to do like one cringe pull. It's gonna be, there's gonna be one pull that you're like, I hate doing this, but you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. Yeah, not that. Like this whole room. Can you imagine doing this whole fucking room? But like you could is this guy a mini boss? Oh. Yes, fuck that guy. Yeah, never mind. We're going around the right side. Fuck that. Okay. So the odds of you doing this room are a lot less high then. I mean, they could balance this guy. They could make this guy give infinite count. Like, obviously, they're never going to pull a mini boss in a CM because he's like, there's no reason that they're going around the right side. They're never pulling a mini boss in a CM because you get inefficient HP because it's just enemies. Oh, I mean, dude, they already had 35. Wait, they pulled Professor Slate. They did pull him. Interesting. I think this is cool. I like, and you could do, technically, if he was efficient enough, you could just kind of do him similar to, like, you could just pull trash on top of him, like, one pack at a time. It depends on, like, how much your tank can tank. The door won't open without him being pulled / killed. Well, maybe it was that way in CMs. Maybe in Mythic Plus they would do something like that, because Blizzard is like this. Wait, did he get teleported here? Defeat all the expired test subjects to escape. Oh, okay. There's a minigame, yeah. And the door opens and you're able to leave. Oh, okay. I'm surprised that the tank is eligible. It's like Zav. It's like Zav from theater. This dungeon is a classic. Alright, I think,
If you haven't come to study,
I think I give this like a 5. I think it's like a 5 or a 6. I think I'd probably put it on like a 6. I think I'll just put it. I'll put it with the other dungeons that I think that like. I think like anything above a 5 here is like candidate for not the worst Mythic Plus dungeon they've ever made. New slate. I'm not doing slate pins. You rate this a 7, really? I came around pretty heavy. I think the first part of this dungeon is not good. I did Mythic Plus this week. I did a couple 20s.